questions, thoughts, comments, clarifications?
Hey Carl, can you explain, I'm sorry if you already did, but the ISC and the different capitalization of each of the letters?
Okay, great. At the end of each of the stages, you'll see a capital D, a capital I, a small c. When I first wrote this success cycle, it was a training manual for management consultants. What that code is, it tells the consultant where specifically you should be focusing your energy in your business. So there are 4 major quadrants that are the building blocks of any successful business. D stands for direction. It's on the table. I stands for income. S stands for systems. C stands for controls. So in stage 1, for example, you'll see there's a capital D, a capital I, and a small c. Right? So there should be anything that's capitalized should have a major focus. Anything that is small, lowercase, should be a minor focus. And if it's not there, it's not a focus. So you look at stage 1 and say, no systems. Stage 2, no systems. Yep. Premature. So capital D, you should be, in stage 1, you should be focusing on strategic planning. And I, income, is sales and marketing. You want to sell your idea first, build it second. In stage 1. Here's what I'll give you a very easy example. You drive up to a new building that's being built, or a new complex, or a subdivision. Now, what do? Do they build all the homes and then cut the ribbon and let people come in and buy them? Or do they put a fancy schmancy picture out front and a little model and say, come on in, look at the beautiful pictures we've drawn, buy it first, we'll build it second. Stage 1 is all about getting people excited, selling your idea first, building it second. Bit counterintuitive. Any of you pilots in the room? There's something called the standard day for every plane. It's the criteria under which are the optimal conditions for a plane to take off. You know how often the standard day comes around for each plane? A couple times a year, maybe. We get pissed off if we wait 10 minutes. Oh, we're delayed 10 minutes on the top. You've got to be kidding me. If you waited for the standard day, you'd be on that plane for a year. So, you can't go strictly by the systems. You have to use your common sense, you have to use your judgment, you have to use your experience, and you have to put your hands on the wheel and say, I'm making a call, we're taking off. Hands on the wheel, we're just going for it. And we'll adjust as needed. Then when we get into our flight pattern, we'll put it on autopilot. That's the system. Does that make sense? Okay? If you put in systems too early, it'll kill your business, you'll never get off the ground. Okay? Does that answer your question?
It does, thank you.
So at each of the 7 stages, there's a different focus in your business. And one of the things we find is you say, oh, that was great. You know, we're not systematic at all, and we don't, we're struggling with cash a bit, so we're going to put in all these systems, and we're going to just start saving our money. Is that a good idea? Put in systems, save your money? Is that a good idea? It depends what stage you're at. There are certain stages where having too much cash is not a good plan. And there's certain stages where not having enough cash is a bad idea. Okay? It really depends on where you are. You want to maximize where you are at any given time.
Yeah, I have a question about this, the other axis there, this percent achievement of success. I mean, you said earlier that U2 is at stage 2, and that would suggest that they'll probably stay there and they'll only ever be about 7% successful.
Unless you consider the fact that U2 has about 47 other pilot projects going on that we're not necessarily aware of, that they're generating money for charities and this, that, and the other, so maybe that falls into the categories. Maybe just the band characteristic of it.
Also, Michael Jackson hasn't been performing and his records are still selling.
Right.
It's a little hard for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll do it before that, but, he's still making revenue is going to, his kids and everything like that, so, and he's not stage
right. Elvis is making more money now than he did when he was alive.
Right.
Elvis and the Beatles are both stage 7 musicians. They're pretty much, maybe Frank Sinatra is up there. All the rest are lower level. If Michael Jackson sold a lot of records when he died. He was newsworthy at that point, and then it's tapered back off. If Paul McCartney gets a nosebleed, he gets divorced, anything happens in this guy's life, album sales go up. Sorry, downloads, YouTube's, YouTube, iTunes, whatever. So the U2, the band, is stage 2. They're merchandising. They're stage 3 when it comes to their concert tour because they partnered with Live Nation, who put up the $140 million for that stage, spider stage thing, and booked all the tours. So they have partnered with other people. So their tour is one business, their music is another business, their merchandising is another, their music sales is another. So they have stage 5 parts of their business, but the band itself, the actual music is a stage 2 business. So this axis here is what percent, if you are going to stage 7, what percentage, this axis here is how close are you to stage 7. U2, the band, will never get to stage 7 unless they do what the Beatles did, which was not only do they license a lot, they encouraged people to license. The song Yesterday by the Beatles is the most copied song in history. The most replayed, sampled and copied by other bands. Elvis was the same way. You become stage 7 in the music industry when you start licensing out and other people start playing your music. That's when you create the legacy.
So would it be fair to say that you're using the word success kind of along the lines of potential?
Yeah, that's another way to put it.
Potential be, okay.
Absolutely.
So it's not like you're a failure or you're only...
No, not at all. I mean,
okay.
Derek Jeter's a stage 2 business for the Yankees. It's a good gig. Right? I mean, it's...
Economies of scale, really. I mean, it's, in terms of the music world, stage 2, U2 is the highest stage 2 versus some lesser known
That's
bands
right.
that don't sell out everywhere.
When I wrote the book in 2008, in the span of a week, I went to 2 concerts, since we're on a music theme. A good friend of mine's son is an up-and-coming rock band. Go see Steel Train. They're really good. And I went to go see them on First Ave in New York City, and I paid $10, and there were 200 people in the room. Later that week, I saw the Rolling Stones at Giant Stadium. I paid $100 and there were 77,000 people in the room. So my friend's son loves being in the band. He's having a great time, and they're making money. They're doing well, and they absolutely love it. And the Rolling Stones are just higher up on the food chain. So for the same time, and I went and saw my son's kid have a great concert for 2.5 hours. And later that week, I saw a great concert for 2.5 hours. And I had to convince my friend to take my $10 because I know those kids are living on that. And I didn't have to convince Mick and the boys to take my $100. They were like, son, where's your wristband? Where's everything? You're not going anywhere unless you prove, you paid $100 for the seat. That doesn't touch the $35 for parking, and it doesn't touch the $7 for a beer and $10 for a hot dog, right? So it's just where do you want to be on that chain? And if you're thinking that, well, wait a minute, I'm just a sales rep, I'm just one person, how can I duplicate myself? Think of Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie has a training franchise. Right? They replicated his principles, what he does and how he does it, and makes more money now than he did then. Elvis is the same thing. People are still singing the guy's songs. Been in Nashville lately? They have statues of Elvis you could have your picture taken with, all through the city. Half the people there still are convinced he's alive, won't let that go. That's a legacy. Beatles, same thing. Make sense?
Sure. Yeah, here I have to kind of apologize that I'm an engineer by education. And I guess what I'm kind of struggling with here on the graph is kind of this cost and benefit. In other words, moving from one stage to the next is going to require at least an investment in time.
It will.
Probably cost. And so then trying to get a sense of, when you ask the question, what stage would you like to go to, I guess it kind of depends on what benefit I will personally have received for having made the investment to go to that next stage.
These are great questions, by the way. Thank you for asking them. If you go along the horizontal axis, it says X time and 2X time. You guys see the vertical dotted lines that come down to X time and 2X time? My experience is to go from wherever you are now to stage 4 will take 18 months. to 7 can take another 18 months. We call it the miracle 1% to get from stage 3 to stage 4. It's the hardest part. Not that it's hard, it's very simple, it's just you're in the way. We've got to work around you. You'll be the biggest problem in going from 3 to 4 because you have to give up control. And you have to allow for the possibility that somebody else will do it better than you. And that can sometimes...
It's okay.
What's that?
That's okay.
That's all right with you, all right?
No, I only say that because in my business, I have 4 other photographers that freelance for me on those days when I have multiple jobs. And I know that I can send TJ over to Fiddler's Elbow to shoot an event for me, and I'm confident that he's going to do as good or better a job than I will.
Right.
And the client is going to love him, and as a result, loves what I do. And they, in this particular case, they've been hiring me for 5 years.
Bingo.
How do I take this, by the way? The next question, how do I take all this to Charlottesville?
Well,
we could talk about it after.
Sure. That is going to be, and we can talk about it later. Thank you. Segues into the feedback form. What we do every time I give a presentation, my gift to you, if you choose to take me up on it, is you get a free coaching session with someone on our team that will help you figure out how to go to the next level, how to increase your fees. They're all trained in this method, and they'll do what we would normally call it is a business analysis, and we normally charge $1,500 for that. Anyone who ever comes to one of my presentations, we offer that as a gift for free. So I highly encourage you to take us up on it. All you got to do is fill out right here where it says, would you like to have a free business analysis? Just click the box, let us know how we can contact you, and when's a good time for you, and we'll have somebody give you a call right away and show you how you can do that. Bill, you're halfway there. You're not that much farther. Well, I want to learn more about the bill method and system. So when you send TJ over there, they're thinking Bill is showing up and just TJ is a package who's delivering the bill method. So right now they probably think, oh, we know TJ, he's cool, he's really good. Bill made a good recommendation of TJ. But it's still not Bill showing up in a different package. And that's what I want, is I want you to be able to replicate Bill so everybody thinks Bill's walking through the door. Right? TJ's great, he's got a great personality, and he takes good care of us. And I know I can throw away my watch because based on what TJ is doing, I can tell what time it is because there's a system to how they